Hey guys, I just wanted to do what is hopefully going to be a quick follow-up to the video that I just did about the comparison with my narcissistic abuse situation to Johnny Depp's. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. First of all, that was a requested video. Because I could just sort of hear the thoughts aloud, like, why would someone who's nobody ever compare their situation to someone like Johnny Depp? That's not it, and I don't think that was even Emily's intent. I think it was just a curious. I think it was a curiosity about the pattern, the narcissist pattern of abuse, and how similar it is. No matter whether you're a celebrity or not, the abuse that the narcissist puts you through, everyone's story is so similar. You can't tell it here because of my YouTube channel is a baby. Literally comparable to a newborn. But on Facebook, I have a group. Actually, I have two pretty large groups of about 6,000 each, with people. One of them is especially geared towards the narcissistic abuse recovery, and for whatever reason they haven't made their way over here to YouTube, or choose not to subscribe for their own personal reasons. A lot of it is because they want to remain anonymous, because the last thing you really want to do is let the narcissist know what you're up to. Sadly, also, I realize that narcissists subscribe to those groups because it helps them further their agenda and better their mask. And I'm always on the watch out. I'm always on the, I try to be alert of anyone I believe is masquerading, as a survivor. And they're really narcissists. It doesn't really take long to pick them out of the crowd. But that being said, as small as my YouTube channel is, as I said, I do have two groups that total about 12,000 together, of people who understand that, I have some knowledge to share. And I would never compare myself to Johnny Depp. The previous video was simply to point out the similarities in the narcissistic pattern, and whether you're a celebrity, whether you're the Queen of England or whatever, or you are, I don't know, whoever you are, or you're just an ordinary person like me. Narcissists follow a pattern. They love bomb you once they feel they've gotten you, and you are buried in their illusion, the illusion that they create for you. Then they begin to devalue you so subtly. You don't notice it at first. You might blow it off. Could be just a simple word, or what you might perceive as a disagreement. You might start thinking that you're remembering an event incorrectly because they're confusing you. Then it builds up. They begin devaluing you, and until you think that you're going crazy. 3 months before my split with my ex-narcissist, I started myself in therapy because I thought I was going crazy. I thought it was me. I knew something wasn't right in the relationship. I just could not figure it out. Again, hindsight is very 20/20, and when I do look back on it, now that I've healed, I shouldn't say healed past tense, because healing from narcissistic abuse, is kind of an ongoing thing, because you are left with CPTSD, the complex post-traumatic stress syndrome. So it's almost the healing is almost ongoing. Although you get stronger and better and wiser all the time. But I really began to think I was just nuts, and I saw the signs, but I just ignored them, as most of us do when you're in it. You can't see the forest for the trees, and even if you can, you choose to think that you're misinterpreting something because it couldn't possibly be them. So again, like I said, my last video wasn't to compare, necessarily just compare me or my what I went through with what Johnny Depp has gone through and really is still going through. I think it was meant as a general, let's look at the pattern. Let's look at the narcissistic pattern and really the similarities between it, because as far as the differences go, the only real difference is his position in life, compared to mine. But the situation, the overall pattern that we both went through, and that anyone who's been through narcissistic abuse has gone through, or God forbid you're going through it watching this now, is the same. You're pulled into this world where you think you're going to live this happily ever after fairy tale of every movie you've ever, romance movie you've ever seen. And really, you're being pulled into this nightmare of, I guess the only movie I could compare it to would be the, what is that one with Jim Carrey? I know somebody's out there shouting the name of it to me. But the one where they put him asleep, and they try to erase his memory so he forgets this girl. Something of the Spotless Mind or something, but you know what I mean. It's your reality. They change your perception of reality to where you're believing their reality, or the reality that they want you to believe. And that happens to everybody, because that's what if you're in a narcissistically abusive relationship, that is what they mean to do. I can tell you that I always post the link to the book that I wrote about my situation. If you are at all curious, I had heard that Johnny Depp was writing a book, and I'm sure that he does not feel, and probably has been legally advised not to release it until all of this, he's settled legally to release it, and that's smart. But I really am looking forward to reading it myself. I really, what I wish? I wish that he would, because he has his own production companies. Well, I would love for him to make a movie about, and if he can't make a movie about his situation for legal reasons or whatever, Jiminy Crickets, call me, because you can make a movie about mine, and it's all, I'll give you the rights to the book. I don't care. It needs to be out there. People need to be educated about narcissistic abuse, the narcissistic pattern, because people are waking up to it, and they need to be educated about it, and before they're in it, before you're sucked into it. People need to know the warning signs. You've heard the phrase, if it's too good to be true, it generally is. You got to watch out for anybody that comes at you like they're Prince Charming or Princess Charming or whatever. You've got to beware of people like that who come at you and you just have everything in common and you just like everything about you and make you feel like they walk on water, and they just envelop you in this cotton candy feeling of fluffy love, because that's not real. People have differences. That's normal. People disagree. That's normal. Especially if it's in the very beginning and they say I love you real soon, real quick in it. And I realize there are people that fall really fast, but my ex-narcissist told me that he loved me in an email before we ever met, because I had just finished telling him, see, I never wanted to meet that guy. Because I knew he was no good. I knew didn't need him in my life. I knew there was very good reason for me to stay away from him. And then, he saw that his control of me, that he couldn't. I guess I was like a fish that was trying to get away for him, and for the narcissist that wasn't going to work. He couldn't lose. So his next move was, let me tell her that I love her. And that's all it took for me. For me, I was like, this guy walked on water to me. I thought, okay, he serves his country. He's respected by his co-workers. All right, I'll give him a chance. And before I knew it, I was sucked into this make-believe world, even though his own son tried to warn me. Shoot, he even tried to warn me. We were in the car one night, and I remember saying to him, and this is in my book, I remember saying to him that I didn't understand why his kids, treated him the way that he did. And this was before he moved in with me, and he said, because you don't live with me 24/7. And at the time, it was just kind of a fleeting thought in my mind where I went, better pay attention to that statement. Looking back, he was actually telling me that I should have listened to his kids. A narcissist will actually tell you who they are, but most of the time we don't want to listen. Their masks, it becomes a lot of work for them to keep those masks on and to keep changing those masks, and so they'll slip every now and then. And depending on how deep you are in it, depends on whether or not you notice it. So I kind of wanted to just clarify the previous video. I didn't want anyone coming at me going, well, how dare you compare yourself to Johnny Depp. That's not at all what was happening. And I hope that's not the impression that anyone got. That's not even what Emily was asking me to do. It was just I think she was more interested in the comparison of the narcissistic behavior to the way that Amber Heard behaved and behaves to the way my ex-narcissist did. Again, I'm so happy that I don't have to deal with mine, because the no contact is the only way to heal. It was so hard at first. It was so hard to keep the no contact. It was so hard I thought I was I really tried to take my life, and I thought I cried every night. Sometimes I cried because I felt stupid. Sometimes I cried because despite the fact that I knew what he was at that point, even as much as he had hurt me. I cried because I missed the man that I thought he was, but I was missing someone that didn't really exist, if that makes sense. Because the person that I thought I was with was fake, so he never existed. I guess that's something that might give you a little comfort if you've gone through it. Is that don't feel like you've lost someone or something. You cannot lose something that you never really had. I understand and know for myself that you hurt because you're all of a sudden, you're jerked out of this wonderful fairy tale. Well, most of the time, in the beginning, you think it's wonderful. Then you do start to realize what a nightmare it is, but you still don't want to let go of it. But you miss the illusion. But the person that you thought you were with just never existed. Just never existed. And I still live with that. Because my mother's narcissistic, and I think she actually knows it. I see signs and things that she says where I think she actually knows it. They can't change because it's a personality disorder. You aren't to feel sorry for them, and you can't help them. They don't want to change. They don't feel like there's anything wrong with their behavior. And just when you think you're getting through to them, they'll drop the other shoe on you. And you can be in the middle of what you think might be a pleasant conversation, and they'll just out of nowhere say the weirdest thing that will throw your mind for like a what the flip did they just say? That will make that just they have a way of twisting your feelings and your emotions and your words and your memory of things, and it's a mess to come out of. But I would love for him to make a movie. I think he could really do it justice, having been through it, and it would be almost like a warning for others to look out for. Do y'all remember a movie a long time ago called The Burning Bed? That wasn't narcissistic abuse. That was straight up abuse. And this woman killed her husband. I think it was based off of a true story as well. I'm not advocating anybody do anything like that. No, do not. But that woke people up to the types of abuse that women were going through. And I think if a movie was made, and again, I'm just going to say it, I think Johnny Depp could be the only person to do a movie like that justice, to bring to light the narcissistic abuse pattern, and to help enlighten people and educate them on it, and maybe help to steer people away from it. I have always said that things that I go through, if it helps even one person, then maybe that was the plan. Maybe, then that made it worth it. And maybe he was allowed to go through this horrific situation so that he could use his position in life to help acknowledge, to help educate others, and bring to light the situation of narcissistic abuse, because it is one that's hard to prove, because there's not a lot of understanding out there about it. Just more and more, because people are talking about it more and more, and they're spotting it more and more out there. But there just needs to be like something that just goes, pow, this is it. This is narcissistic abuse. Be watchful of it. Don't fall prey to it. Wouldn't the narcissists everywhere just hate a movie like that? Can't you just see their prey running away from them once they've been educated? Think of how many lives that could possibly be saved, you know, physically and mentally, you know, by a movie like that. Just, if anyone of any importance sees this video, just keep that in mind. You could really do a lot of good, I think. Use what has happened to you, JD, to help others, to educate others, and to save others. So, God bless. We're 21 minutes in. I'm getting better. God bless you guys, and I will see you next weekend. Is Christmas, so I'll try to do a video just before that. Maybe I'll video some of the Christmas activities that I'll be doing, so we'll see. God bless, guys. Mwah.